Hey guys, welcome to Worthy Reads with me, Finesse. This is my channel, Embracing Expansion. So this segment is where I share with you books that I've read and how they've impacted me, what I've learned from them. Now this book is very special. It is tiny, but it's very, very powerful. You know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover. This book is by Dan Millman. I've read a few of his books. I have a few stocked up there to read. I have a bunch of books to read, guys. So this series might be limited for some time, and then I have to just come back as I continue reading to just let you know what's up with the Worthy Reads, right? Because you know, reading a book takes time, and I take my cool time to read so that I take in, absorb, and apply what I have read, right? So this is The Laws of the Spirit by Dan Millman. Now this book I think I need to expand on in the coming weeks. I'm going to be basically addressing some I have touched on some of the laws of the spirit with my previous videos, but I feel like I need to spend time. As tiny as it is so amazing, and it's like if I had to give someone a handbook for life, I'd probably give them this book, The Laws of the Spirit, right? So I'm gonna just give you a little, tease about this book. I'm gonna tell you a little about it, try to summarize it, but I believe that it deserves some expanding upon, so I will be focused on the various laws of the spirit and applying them in the preceding weeks. All right, so this book, as I always do, let me just read the back for you. Praise for laws of spirit. We're in a great need of such books. Don't let this one pass you by. That's what I told you. These are just actually this is feedback. Wise and playful teachings, as easy as your breath, as gracious as the Tao. A can't put down book filled with spiritual nuggets. I promise you. I didn't even read that. I promise this is my first time reading this part. Dan Millman brings into our consciousness the flowering of spirit. It is just such an amazing tiny book, which it teaches so much, and I'm pretty sure you could read this if you want to, like in about a month. I took my cool time, so I took about like 6 because I wanted to write and apply and try stuff out, reflect on myself as to how I should apply those things. Now, the laws of the spirit, there are various laws that are touched on in this book. There's balance, there's choice, there's process, there's presence, compassion, faith, expectation, truth, action, cycles, surrender, and unity. You all know I always have my notepad with me, right? Because I want to give you guys some. I want everything to progress naturally and beautifully. All right. So it touches on so many aspects of our lives, that we don't give enough attention. That if we focused on or gave the necessary attention, we would be more relaxed as we journey through life. Like for instance, the law of presence, living in the moment, and to have presence we have to be present. That is something that I can elaborate on with myself. Like sometimes we're here physically, but we're not here mentally. That happens to me so much, and sometimes it's not at the right times. Like sometimes I'm driving and I know that there's a spiritual reason for that part too, but I'm driving and my mind is just on everything else but the road, and then when I finally return to that moment of me driving, my eyes are open, I'm still seeing, but in a weird way mentally I'm not there. I'm thinking of what I have to do when I get back from where I'm heading, or and when I get back I'm like, wow, spirit really is keeping me, because where have I been? I know I've been in this car physically, but mentally I have not been in this car driving the whole time. There's the law of faith, which is trusting the love and wisdom of the universal subconscious mind working through and with us. So, and it's funny because there's the law of faith, and immediately after the law of faith is the law of expectation, which which works in accordance with faith, if you think about it, because what we expect, what we assume or believe creates our experience here. So these two are different, but they complement each other. So the laws of the spirit, it really is a handbook, a very small handbook. You would expect, I would expect a giant, if I were given a handbook for life, it would have to be probably like so big, so big, you know. So this book I appreciate so much, and Dan Millman has quite a few books I've read. I think The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. We'll touch on that maybe next week. However, I would encourage you to get this book. I'm going to put the link for all the books that I talk about in Worthy Reads. I do include a link for them, you know, so that if you want to get them where I got them, you can get them too. I get most of my books on, to be honest guys, I get most of my books on eBay because they're cheaper, and I figure they're just books. So when I get them, I just cleanse the previous energies, and then I begin my journey. And most of the books on eBay, to be honest, they're so new. Like, it's like, how are these used books when there's nothing wrong with them? This is one of them. I got this on, I haven't even written my name in it. It's a pretty new book. I've had it for many years. eBay, probably got it for like $4. If you're looking for great books, check them out. Check out eBay. All right. So the laws of the spirit, just in summary, it elaborates or provides guidelines or just a guidance system for the various areas of our lives, whether it's to do with faith, whether it's to do with taking action, whether it's to do with being patient, whether it's to do with being more allowing of ourselves and others, whether it's to do with appreciating the journey and not, you know, the destination. It teaches us those things. It elaborates on them. And what I like about it is it goes through those, there is a story in that. It kind of does it like a sage on a mountain. So it presents the guide, the whole guidance system. It has a beautiful story that takes you through the process, the various laws of the spirit, right? There was this one example, if I remember correctly, the law of balance. The law of balance, quite an ordinary, you know, example, but it's so insightful if you think about it. So in the forest, a stone was being thrown intended to hit a specific spot on a tree. Okay, I'll give I'll just make about an example, but same. So you have a pebble and you're trying to aim it at a rock. A tiny pebble, aiming it at the center of a rock, or let's use the bark of a tree. The center of a bark of a tree. Or just the bark of a tree, doesn't matter where. Right? And you throw that rock from where you are now, but it doesn't hit. What do? You adjust your position, so you might feel like maybe I should throw higher, maybe I should throw lower. So you're not necessarily moving closer to the tree, but you're changing, I guess, how you throw. If you're throwing from under, if you should take a quicker, stronger throw. So this essentially is elaborating on the law of balance, you know, and balance not necessarily of your hand, but of your state of mind as well. How calm your body is, your breath, how if you focus on that spot, then your aim is better, rather than just seeing I'm gonna hit anywhere in the tree. You focus on the spot you want to hit, and you allow your body to calm and zone in on that specific spot on that tree that you're trying to hit, and you will get it eventually. That to me was like wow, because I did that a lot growing up. Like, practice aiming, whether it's for basketball, whether it's for netball, whether it's for tennis. You know, this is something that requires that the law of balance can be applied to. Balance of your physical, your spiritual, your breath, your, you know, all of those things. So this is just an example of how this little book is so powerful, guys. This book is very powerful, and I do hope that this little conversation I've had about it inspires you, because there's so much more. And in the coming weeks, the reason I'm going into all of it right now is because I just reflecting on it. I just picked it up, so I have read it. What I do for my Worthy Reads is I just pick up the books and I peruse through them, just, you know, to see what I can remember. Or I go through my notebook where I have notes that I take with while I'm reading all the books, and then I'm like, okay, we'll talk about this book today. But this one, just spending a little 5 minutes, you know, prior to recording this video with it, I was like, I was just wondering earlier, what am I going to talk about, you know, next week? I like to plan ahead sometimes for my videos, and I haven't been. I literally just sit on the day and figure out what I'm going to talk about. But this book has given me so much to talk about, and it's so small. So for the next probably few months, I'm going to be elaborating on the laws of the spirit on Embracing Expansion, which is every Sunday at 11 a.m. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I'm going to elaborate on this book for you. That does not mean you shouldn't get it, because we always have different interpretations of what we read. So what I might read is not going to be what I might understand based on what I read, might not be what you understand based on your read. So I encourage you to get it. Get it. Great gift for yourself, great gift for someone that you care about. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. It's worthy.